Hello, my name is Carl Surrey and this is a video tutorial for the Facebook group called Fans of Serif Software. Now this is a part 2 or a revisiting of a tutorial I have just done, which I did on behalf of a member called Gary Hunt, who I think he is new to Affinity Photo, but I also think he's quite new to photo editing in general. And he was having trouble doing an image where he wanted to replace the sky, and he was having trouble with layer masks and what have you. So in the tutorial I made for him, it showed a different way to replace the sky but without using the layer mask, and it very quickly it was just a case of selecting the sky area and just tidying up the edge, then inverting the selection, then pressing Ctrl and J to make the bottom half of the image as a new layer, and then inserting the new sky image in between the background and the newly selected area on a different layer. So then he got back to me and then said that he was having trouble with the sky image that he had downloaded because it was far too small, and it was only when he pasted it in, it only sort of filled up a small area of the screen. So this is what this sort of tutorial is going to cover, and it is mainly due to how you download them off the internet. Now this image here that I have here, because I asked Gary to send me the images that he was trying to work with so I could see where he was going wrong. So this image here is Gary's own image that he took. He sent me the raw file and I've quickly processed it in Affinity Photo, and this was the finished result. And as you can see along the top here, it gives you the size, which is 5202 by 3465 pixels. It's taking up 18.02 megabytes, which is a really big image. Now the image that he got off the internet, as you can see, this is already pixelated. This is because Affinity Photo and pretty much nearly all editing programs that I've ever used, when they open up an image, they open them up to fit the screen. So if it's a small image, it's really had to zoom out, and as you can see from down here, it zoomed out to 407% to get it to fill the screen. And this is because the original size for this file is 259 by 194 pixels and takes up 0.5 megapixels. So it is very small. So if I reduce this down to 100%, that is the actual size of the image in comparison to this is at 23%. So if I zoom this out to what would be 100% size, it's the size it actually is. That is 100% for this image, and that is 100% for the sky image, which is why this is so small when he pastes it in. And just to prove this, I can do a select all, edit, copy, come back to this one. I'll press Ctrl and 0 so it just fills the screen, and then edit, paste. So as you can see, that sky image is very tiny, and if I was to stretch it out to try and fill up this area, it becomes too pixelated. So what Gary needs to do is to have a much bigger sky image. So let me reduce this get rid of this. Now the problem here is, one with the internet, is that if I come back to this one here and come to documents, say it's to resize the document, this image is 72 pixels per inch, which, for a small picture like that is adequate. But as you make the size bigger, 72 pixels an inch it's just going to pixelate. The bigger you make it, it will pixelate much quicker. And images on the internet, by and large, are reduced in size to like 72, 96 dots per inch. So just like quickly grabbing an image off the internet, you are losing a lot of quality. What you need to do is to go to a website like one I like to use is Pixabay. They provide royalty-free web images, but you download them in the format that is much larger and is better dots per inch. So I like Pixabay, one because they do very good images, and two, it's a lot easier for me to tell you how to find it because it's just pixabay.com. You can't get much easier than that. To be able to download an image, you just need to register, but after that, the images are free. So I just did a quick search. I put sky and clouds, and as you can see, there are 268 pages of sky images. So you should be able to find a replacement sky somewhere in 268 pages. Now I'm on page 6, and one that I quite liked, I mean Gary may hate it, is down here somewhere. No, this one here. So if I click on that, it gives you the details about. Sometimes it does tell you where these images are taken and what have you, but this one doesn't seem to. No, but it's taken in December 2015. So once you've registered, you can just click on free download, and then it gives you an option what size you want to download it. And so as you can see, the smallest size obviously takes up the smallest amount of space, and the really big size takes up the most space on your hard drive. But when I do downloads, I pretty much always go for the largest size because it gives you the best dots per inch, and it is a much better, in my opinion, to go for the bigger size, because then you can, 9 times out of 10, you won't have to increase the size it shouldn't pixelate, and it should reduce in size that much easier. But that is just my personal opinion. Whether that is technically true or not, I can't say one way or the other. So if I go back to Affinity Photo, and where is it? That one there. So this is the sky image which I downloaded from Pixabay, and as you can see, this is pretty much fairly similar in size to Gary's sort of mountain image, because it's 5472 by 3528, takes up 19.31 megapixels. And if I do document resize, it is 300 dots per inch. So there's many more pixels per inch in this image than in this other sky image that Gary downloaded. So this is the one I'm going to use. So I'm just going to go select all, edit, copy, And here I have set up where I would have got what I got to in the first tutorial, in the sense that I have one layer which is the background layer, and then the other layer which just has the lower half of this image on. If I turn the background layer off, you can see that this is blank. So if I highlight the background bottom layer and just edit and paste, that sky is now added as a layer between this full image layer and this layer that only has the image at the bottom. So if I come to the move tool, you can see that that image, the sky image, is much bigger already than the Gary's picture that we started out with. And if I just zoom out slightly, and if I wanted to, I could resize it, and the quality will pretty much stay the same, because there is many more dots per inch. So I can move this around until I get to a sort of formation that I quite like the look of, which is going to be there, I think. I'll just press Control and 0 so it fills the screen again. So if I turn this layer off, that's what Gary's original picture would look like, and that's what it looks like with the new sky image. So if you are going to grab pictures for things like sky replacement, I would strongly advise getting them from royalty-free website pages like Pixabay, and there are plenty of others, but get them from there, because the dots per inch and size will be much better, because you are downloading them, for want of a better phrase, properly in their original format, rather than a screen grab, which is going to be very much reduced, because the internet squashes and reduces the quality of images for the internet, because the internet doesn't need them to be of a high quality to display them. But if you want to use them, you want them of a high quality. So my personal opinion is to download such images, or better still, if you are going to do quite a lot of sky replacement, things like that, is to take your own pictures of the sky. I mean, whenever you're out taking pictures, you know, and you're doing landscape photography or whatever, if there's a good sky out there, take a picture of your landscape that you want, but then also take a picture of the sky, you know, just the sky, and then you can keep those in a separate folder, and then some later date you need a good sky, you have your own little collection of sky images that you can use, and then it is literally all your own work. You're not having to download other people's images. I mean, I've got a folder of images that I've taken. I mean, I don't take pictures of it all the time, but if there's a really good sky one day, I will take a picture of it and save it and maybe use it at some future date. So I hope that Gary and other sort of new to photo editing have sort of this has been helpful to them. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.